Oh, what a fucking production meeting we just had. Everybody, welcome to episode 243 of the Dream Wager. As always, I'm the captain leading the ship. I am D-Rock, and I am joined each and every episode by my co-host, our NBA guru, partner in crime, men of many traits, Elvis Acosta. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm alright, dude. Got the Kyrie trade, got it settled in a little bit in my
Oh.
mind, so I'm feeling a little better today. Still not great, but better.
Yeah, better. We'll talk about that. We got a lot to discuss, a lot of happening in the NBA. Like you said, Kyrie trade. As of right now, air quotes on that. Some NFL announcements as well. We'll update Super Bowl 57 odds, see where the money's at, see where tickets, any more props Elvis and I have. And we'll end on the hardwood. We got a college play and an NBA. I'm going to actually give it my play at the top of the hour because anyone live watching starts at 7 p.m. It starts at 8 p.m. I'm going to go Kansas over Texas, -3.5 at home. Feel like this is just a short number. Right now it's at 4. You could catch 4.5 somewhere. If it gets to 5, I think that's too much, but I think it's going to be a slow, hard game in Lawrence. I think it's going to be a nice game for Kansas. I think it's a big win over Texas too. A top 10 team in the Big 12. Should be a good one. But Elvis, any games you want to get off on the top of the hour? You got any games starting at 7 in the NBA for you?
Yeah, dude, I'm taking Cleveland Cavs money line at Washington. I think they're gonna be able to sneak one out on the road. And then I got an 8 p.m. I did a two-way teaser with Sacramento and Utah. I think Utah take care of business against Dallas, and Sacramento gonna definitely take care of business against Houston. But tease them down, on the road. Gotta play safe.
Yeah, real quick, you're on Cleveland. I think that's a good move. I know it's on the road. Bradley Beal out though. Kyle Kuzma out. What was Kyle Kuzma wearing the other day? Did you see his fit?
Because I don't know. He's real deep into fashion, and sometimes he does a little too much. I don't know what it was. It was like a coat slash like igloo thingy. I don't know what it was, but it seemed comfy. Let's just say he looked comfortable, people. I'll say that. It looked comfortable.
I saw so many funny memes. Everyone after they saw the fit, they just hammered every under on him and he had an awful game. So that's what makes it even funnier. I like the Kings play, teasing them down. Would you lay the 6.5 though?
I I would do, but you gotta play safe just because they're on the road. You don't know what to expect from Houston, especially at home. Hey, they might have uh, what's his name? Kevin Jr. Might be able to go for another 30, 40 point game like he did recently, Dill. So you never know what to expect from the underdog team at home.
Yeah, and I actually do. I know we joke around only backing the Jazz as dogs, but with the amount of injuries for the Dallas Mavericks right now, I wouldn't lay
Dinwiddie,
the
no
10,
Smith.
but yeah, I like
They're
laying the 3.
sure-handed. They
So
might have like a 7 or 8 man rotation tonight.
it might be tough putting up buckets against that team right now. So
Yeah.
I do like the early teaser. Thank you for that. But let's get into it. Let's stay on the NBA. Kyrie, for now, has been traded to the Mavericks. They're sending DFS, Spencer Dinwiddie, 2029 first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks to the Nets for Kyrie and Markieff Morris. Maybe Markieff Morris could be the enforcer the Dallas Mavericks need. They always need a guy to back up Luka because Luka talks a lot. I love him and he backs it up, but they need a guy that like kind of backs him up who doesn't care about getting ejected. What are your thoughts? Who won the trade, and are you upset?
Dale, I am upset because Kyrie is one of the greatest talents to ever touch a basketball. Let's just be real, Dale. I think he's having, if not one of his better seasons in his career so far this season, averaging 27 points a game, leads the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. He's Mr. Clutch Bucket. Dale, he does it all. I understand he hasn't been the most reliable, let's say, teammate in the past recent years. So I understand why the Nets didn't want to extend him. I disagree. I think he's a hell of a talent. When you have a special talent like that, you got to hold on to him through thick and thin. Nets, they were done. Hey, it is what it is. But as a business standpoint, you got to get something a little better back than Spencer Dinwiddie and then Smith. 29 first-round pick. To be honest, Luka ain't going nowhere time soon. So that 29 first-round pick might just be like a late rounder. Let's just be honest still. So Today I feel a little more better about the trade because I do believe if we be able to keep Kevin Durant, Spencer Dinwiddie and Smith, we could still make some noise in the playoffs. But are we a championship contender? I don't think so, Dill. But I'll tell you one thing: neither are the Mavericks.
I honestly think then you guys won the trade. I think it was a massive L for the Mavs, to be honest. A part of this Kyrie trade, I think that's flying under the radar is that, what's his name? Dorian Finney-Smith. He's exactly the type of guy. I was saying this when the trade happened, is exactly kind of like a stretch for, kind of a wing player that Brooklyn needs,
And he's a
So
two-way player. He's great defensively, and he'll knock down some threes.
and that's all you're looking for. You don't want to have too many ball dominant players, especially when you have Kevin Durant. So, I think the Nets, they got a good blend of players that can contribute, and they finally have draft capital for a player that, to be honest, I know you didn't like it, but he was gone in the offseason anyway. You
Yeah.
know, so I like it. It's unfortunate that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving only wound up playing 74 games together. They only have one playoff victory together, or playoff series, I should say. But Dinwiddie actually found his way back to Brooklyn. So how do you think DFS, how do you think they fit into this lineup?
I think Dinwiddie will fit in right in. Though remember, he was a net for what 4 or 5 years, especially when we first got to Brooklyn. So he been there. So definitely some familiarity in there. And then Smith, I think any team in the NBA could use a 3-and-D guy. Anybody that could play defense on the wing could knock down some shots still. So I think they're like here. This is what I think, Bill.
Yeah.
We didn't get better, but we're now one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Like, I love our roster, but we don't have, we're not heavy. We're not top heavy. We just got Kevin Durant, and that's it. We don't got no other superstar. I know, Dill, but this is a dual league, Dill. Look at the East. You got James Harden, Joel Embiid. Boston, you got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Milwaukee, you got that big three. So in the East alone, Dill, you got these duels, and you got KD by himself, and then surrounded with a great talent. It's great talent, Dill, but you still need somebody else that could get you a bucket no matter what. And Kyrie Irving was that person.
Yeah, and now looking at the Mavericks side, looking at their projected starting lineup, you got Kyrie, throw Luke out there, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, and then you put Christian Wood at the 5. I think that's I think they could actually make a run now if they could all get healthy and they're playing drama-free basketball. The Mav odds went from plus 2,500 before Kyrie, and now they're sitting at plus 1,200 after the trade. So what do you make of this Mavericks team, and do you think they can make a playoff push? And also, we've also seen a trend, when Kyrie went to Boston, I'm going to sign here, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. It's always the same thing. And that's nothing against his stuff on the court. I love Kyrie. He puts jersey on. He does so much outside of basketball, donating money to the WNBA, giving water to people in Pakistan. Like, the guy's an amazing person. My thing is he's accountability and liability. Sometimes you're not on the court and you're a liability. He shows up when he wants to. But when he shows up, he could give you 40, 10, and 8. So he's a top 10 player when he wants to play. And that's, I think, the one issue I have with Kyrie. And whenever it's not convenient for him, it's out. Like, I'm done. And that's what I kind of worry about, giving a guy like that all that money. Is he worth it? Talent-wise, absolutely. But it's the antics. I could understand it from a billionaire's perspective. I'm investing millions of dollars into this guy, but if he's having a bad night, he doesn't want to show up. You know what I mean? So, but there are teams that are willing to give him the money right away. So I do hope he finds a home. I was telling you this before we went live, that I think he fit in perfect with Luke. I think they could go far. I think they could win a playoff series or two, and they could make a push at the Western Conference Finals, because him and Luka, I know they're both very ball dominant players, but they both give you 50. It might be a wrap. 50's a little pushing it, but they give you 35 and 30. Like,
that's the thing, though. Can that work? If they average, let's just say, for example, 70, 80 points combined a game, will that be enough to win a series? I do agree with you. you got to give them a chance just because the West is just so wide open. There's not a clear-cut favorite in the
That's the
West.
thing.
You know, we saw the Pelicans early. They fell. Nuggets are the Nuggets for year. Could they finally do it this year? We'll see. The Lakers, Warriors, Steph Curry just got hurt again. He's out for another month. Memphis, they've been falling down the slope for the past month. So out of all these teams, who's going to really take over the West? And right now, I don't see why some people would like the Mavericks. I don't think they're there just yet. I got to see them play together, see how Kyrie and Luka is together. But still, the West is wide open, so you got to give them a shot. But I don't think it's a great trade either way.
No, I don't either. And, you mentioned Steph. Now he's gone with a leg injury for a month. He's going to miss the All-Star game. They're sitting at the 8th seed right now, 27-26, and they're desperately fighting. They are one win away from jumping all the way up to the 5th seed. So the West is wide open. I think there's only about, I don't
28
know.
games. 28 games, 27
No.
games.
I'm trying to figure out how many solid contenders there are because I could figure 4 or 5 off the bat for the East. You got the Celtics, Bucks, 76ers, the Nets, and probably the Cavs. I think Cavs are
the
dark
Cavs.
horse. So with the West, it's okay. You got the Nuggets, Grizzlies always choking the playoffs. Can the Suns come back? I know they fell off. Clippers.
I think the Suns are done. Clippers are emerging.
They're emerging. They started slow. They're coming back. Their guys are getting in the rhythm of things.
Sacramento having a great season. They have a pretty good record, but come on now. Are there contenders?
It's not,
no.
They don't have the experience. I want to see it from Sacramento. They are having a good season, but look at the Pelicans. They also started well, and they kind of fell off. I know they have injuries, but there's only a few that I could trust out of the West, and I think that's why I like this move so much for, the Nets and honestly the West and Mavs, because I think they can win a playoff game or two, especially with the inexperience that is in the West. Because I said, there's only a few teams.
Yeah, right now, if I'm Mark Cuban and the GM and everybody in Dallas, I'm looking at Denver and Memphis right now, and the Clippers, just because they ran into the Clippers a few times in the playoffs and gave them some trouble. But everybody else, Golden State, how's Golden State going to look come playoff time? Yeah. Who knows? Are they even going to make the playoffs? Because you know how bad the Warriors get without Steph Curry. So we'd like to see how that. To me, I think a dark horse are the Lakers. If the Lakers could get in 6 seed, 7 seed, I think they could. If LeBron and AD healthy, I think they could be a contender for the West. So.
And speaking of the Lakers, Elvis, they miss out again because we know from months ago when he originally wanted the trade, Kyrie's trying to work his way back to LeBron. Him and LeBron, they made up kumbaya. They're buddies again. They want to play. And, LeBron, he put a crown emoji and saying, oh, the king is back or this and the third. Maybe they thought he landed someone. And then he goes, maybe it's just me. And, I felt that. I felt that from LeBron because as talented as he is, it has been hard for him to recruit and bring in that star power. So why do you think the Lakers keep missing?
No, it's not that. It's Russell Westbrook, Dill. Who in their right? Why would the Nets trade Kyrie Irving for Russell Westbrook? Let's just be real, Dill. What do the Lakers have to offer that's not Anthony Davis, LeBron James to anybody? It's Russell Westbrook, and nobody wants him. Got to pay him $50. Well, season's almost over, but he had a $50 million price tag on him this year, Dill. He might win $6 million a year. So I want him calling him the most overpaid.
He's a walking triple-double. Let's call a spade a spade. He's a walking triple-double. He's not
averaging a triple-double this year.
In turnovers.
Dill.
Come on, bro.
Let's just be real, Dill. Nobody in their right mind would trade Kyrie Irving for Russell Westbrook and Austin Reeves in a first-round pick in 6 years. We're not doing that, Dill. So, LeBron, it ain't you. It's what you build around you. Remember, you wanted Russell Westbrook. You had Buddy Hield. You had Miles Turner and Buddy Hield on the table. You said, no, I want Russell Westbrook. You got him. You stuck with him.
So I'm glad you – wait, Elvis. I'm glad you brought that up because now there's a report from HP Basketball saying So the Nets wanted a lot of trades, and now there's reports that the GM Joe Tsai, he said, "Oh, I was intentionally declining these for the Lakers because we knew he wanted to go there." Whatever. There's a quote that said the Lakers, they just wouldn't give up those picks. The Lakers have a lot of picks. They said not for Miles Turner, not for Buddy Hield, not for various assets for Utah, from assets from San Antonio. They just not all weekend. They didn't even call the Nets on Sunday when he got traded. So I don't think they're in a big move to, one, upgrade the team, or two, move away from their picks. Do you see them doing anything a few days out from the trade deadline?
Still, honestly, nah, not really. Because I think they're gonna stay put.
And if they do, they don't make the playoffs. That, I think that is a guarantee.
You don't think the Lakers make the playoffs?
I mean, I'm looking at it. I know they're only a game out, or a game and a half out of the play-in.
They're only 3 games away from the 6th seed, Dill. That's how wide open the West is still, and that's my thing. Come All-Star, we know Steph is out for the month, so you could possibly go to say himself. How long would Zion be out? Pelicans might slide out. Suns are the Suns. What the Suns?
Suns are the 5th seed.
Yeah, are the Suns? I know Devin Booker might be coming back soon, but are the Suns going to start gelling again, or are they going to be the same Suns we saw a month ago?
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but they said, hey, if he becomes available, they're going to throw the book at Kevin Durant.
I understand, though. I understand
heard that too. But
and I'm even hearing reports right now by Stephen A. Smith that's saying Jaylen Brown and
the
Celtics.
Celtics keep an eye out for Boston as well. Dark horse
that we might land Jaylen Brown, and we get a nice haul for Kevin Durant, and we have some pieces around. As a Nets fan, I can't be that mad just because we got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving for nothing. Remember, they came here, we signed them as free agents. And if we get a haul of players in return, all-star caliber players, it is what it is.
Yeah, and you're right. There is a lot of basketball left, but I don't know. I just don't see the talent on the Lakers. And it seems like every night, LeBron and AD, if AD's out there, when he is, he's spectacular. But they're 25 and 29. They don't really have that much talent. Yeah, they might get into maybe the 9th or 8th seed, but I really don't see them really going anywhere in the playoffs. I know it's LeBron, and we always want to root for him. It's kind of like me and Tom Brady. I always want to root for Tom Brady and back him, even though, he was out the door. His time was over. So some people just got to learn the hard way, Elvis. I'm one of them. But let's transition to a little NFL. Minutes before we hopped on, Brian Flores accepted defensive coordinator job in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Wow. Apparently they were impressed the whole interview process. And then once they met with Flores, they loved the direction. They loved his game plan of what he's going to bring, upgrade, because offensively, they got it. I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. They have weapons on the outside. Thielen's a little old. Great tight end. They traded for TJ Hawkinson. They got a good back. They have a good line. It's the defense. Mostly it's the interior defense. It's the linebackers. They have decent secondary, but Brian Flores comes in from spending a year with
Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh as a linebacker coach, special assistant. So do you like this move for Minnesota, and do you like this move for Brian Flores taking this job?
Yeah, I do. I like it. I wish Brian Flores was able to get a head coaching job, because I think he rightfully deserves to be a head coach, but maybe next year. But yeah, I like it. We know the Vikings, their weakness was defense, though. What I said headed to the playoffs, still, offense I ain't worried about. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Ken Kurt. I was even calling first cousins. And he had a great season, but that defense was probably the worst defense in the playoffs in the NFC. And we saw the Giants Daniel Jones was able to run up down that field all game.
That might have been Daniel Jones' best game in his career.
Yeah, it was. Put it like this, that game alone earned Daniel Jones, I'm gonna say $160 million. I'm not sure what the Giants gonna give him, but
it's up there.
It's gonna be more than that. I'm gonna just say 160 mil. It wouldn't shock me if it's 200. It is what it is. But Daniel Jones had his way against that defense. And we saw how Daniel Jones and the Giants look in Philly, how pathetic they look in the divisional round. So that just shows you how bad the Vikings defense were. We saw multiple times this season how bad that defense was. Remember, they were down 32-0 against the Colts. They gave up 40 points against the Cowboys. So a lot of people was able to go up and down against this team, Dill. So hopefully Brian Flores could change the culture, could possibly make that defense pretty good once again. And hey, I'll be sure you catch the Vikings. Maybe not the division champs again, but definitely in the playoffs next season.
Oh, especially if Aaron Rodgers is gone. I think they will lead the division for a while. Bears still rebuilding. But yeah, he brings a toughness and aggression to his defense. And remember when Watt came back, how good down the stretch Pittsburgh, till week 18, they were fighting for a playoff spot. So their defense got better. They were a little banged up early on, which is why they were kind of vulnerable, losing to a team like the Jets. Pitiful. But, and you mentioned you should have got a head coaching spot. So he also interviewed for the Broncos DC because we messed up. Vic Fangio, he got the Dolphins DC job. So Denver's still looking for that good of a defense. They're still looking for a defensive coordinator right now to team up with Sean Payton. So he was interviewing for that job, and he was also interviewing for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job. He took a job. He took an interview with Minnesota, and then he landed the deal the next day. So there must have been a spark or some level of interest in that meeting where there were two of their both ideas from the general manager side on Minnesota and his side. They had common level. They knew what they wanted to do, and it aligned. So I honestly like the move for him. I think it's a good fit. I think he brings a toughness. I think if they upgrade in the interior defense through the draft, I think it could be really effective. And I think we could see it early on. Defensive coordinators that have been hired so far. We just mentioned Brian Flores, Vic Fangio to the Dolphins, Everino for the Panthers. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Jim Schwartz for the Browns.
Jim Schwartz, wow.
Yes, he's back for the Browns. You got Joe Woods for the Saints, Ryan Nielsen for the Falcons. So a lot of DCs getting scooped up. And you love to see it, and you always like to see it right before the Super Bowl. That's when a lot of these deals get through. So who do you think got a better job, Brian Flores or Vic Fangio?
I'll be honest. I'm gonna say Vic Fangio, Dill, just because their defense has the capability of being great. Remember, they just got Bradley Chubb. You got a great secondary. You got one of the you got Rhodes. You got a few people, Zaire Jones. So you have a great secondary, and then you got some interior pieces they can build off, Dill. So, and at the end of the day, you're in Miami, so you gotta love that aspect from it as well. You don't want to be in Minnesota in the winter all winter, Dill. Probably gets real nasty up there. But I do like Miami's defense. The potential is already much better than what it is in Minnesota.
Yeah, I like it too. And they do have more talent paper-wise on defense than Miami Dolphins, but they kind of folded late. They didn't really play up to expectations. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, Dale, but we saw what happened at Tua, and we saw the record without Tua. When it was at one point where Miami was first place in the division, they were in the power rankings, they were looking competitive, Dale, then, they slipped up. Hopefully Tua could stay healthy and that defense could possibly show up in the playoffs still. They were right there. They gave Buffalo some pressure now, so.
Yeah, well, should be a good one. Before we get and preview Super Bowl 57, let me tell you guys about our sponsor, Viva Tequila. Viva Tequila, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry after a Saturday morning workout. Our flavors pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at The Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get to it. Super Bowl 57. I just saw about a few minutes ago this guy, and I think the state was Pennsylvania. He put $1 million on the Eagles money line.
Oh my God. I know
maybe you're a little more the guy that lays the juice on the show. But I would, if I were you, because the line is sitting at 1.5 right now. Money has come in on the Chiefs, and I don't think it's ever going to get up to 2.5, 3 again. So if you grab the 2.5, like me, then you're on the right side. But if you like the Eagles, just lay the 1.5. Why are you giving these books 15 cents, 20 cents? I'll never understand it. The more people explain it to me, because I've went out of my way to try to ask them, and I just don't see the point of it. The most I'd ever lay in football is minus 115. I can't lay money line minus 120, minus 125, because over time you might have a winning record, but your unit size won't be up as much as you laying minus 110. You always want to give the least amount of odds, in my opinion. So I don't know. I just thought it was fucking stupid, in my opinion. I just thought, like, if you like the Eagles, put the million on the 1.5. You know, you get more money, because if they win, they're gonna win by more than one. It's just common sense.
Dude, you say that, but about this a 1-point game.
Oh my God! If that happens, I'll throw in $1 million.
You know,
it's not gonna happen, Elvis.
It's a small chance. You know, missed field goal here, extra point here. Who knows? You know, it might be a 21-20, something like that. 17-18, a weird score. 13-14. You know, low scoring.
I mean, who the hell am I? And I guess if the guy has it like that, where he could just drop $1 million, I mean,
you got to play it safe. Though, there's a reason. What's the difference? What you know? What?
No, there's a big difference. Long term, maybe not short term, but long term, you keep laying 120, 125, it will catch up to you.
No, I hear you.
I don't know. It's just, I just saw it and I just thought it was fucking asinine. I'm sorry.
If it was 3, I'll feel you a little more, but
if
it's 1.5, though. Just let them live. Let them live.
Yeah. So right now, tickets 60-40 to the Eagles. Same amount on money on the game, 60-40 to the Eagles. Not surprised. You know, they are the better team, I think, right now, especially with the unknown to Patrick Mahomes. 1.5 is the spread currently, minus 110 both ways. If you want to lay on the money line like the Eagles, I see best odds right now, minus 120, minus 119. On my book that I use, minus 122. Over under sitting around 50.5. It has gone up, so money is on the over. Elvis, we're not 7 days. We're less than 7 days away from Super Bowl 57. Which way are you leaning so far? Nothing official. We will have our official with CT, but 6 days out, which way are you leaning?
Dale, to be honest, this is a tough one. I yet to have my official play. I'm feeling the Chiefs. Let's just be real. I like the Chiefs. I do believe Patrick Mahomes will be, I wouldn't say 100%, but I feel like he'll be 2 times as healthier he was in the AFC Championship game. And to me, I'll take that Patty Mahomes over anybody any day.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the potential from the Chiefs defense. We saw what Chris Jones in that front was able to provide pressure against Joe Burrow. But that Eagles front, man. And then we saw I saw the list that came out today. 3 out of the top 5 players are Chiefs, but 7 out of the top 10 are Eagles. And that explains it, Dill. The Eagles are the much better team. Well, I'm going to say
paper,
much better.
Yes.
They're the better team. Yes. Out of, let's say, the top 20 players, I'm going to say at least
10.
12, 13 are going to be Eagles.
Yeah.
The whole offensive line is better.
You remember Uncle Sal Panantonio from ESPN? We grew up with him.
Yeah.
He's been covering the Eagles for 35 years, and he's at the Super Bowl in Arizona, and he was doing a report, and he said, this is the best Eagle team I've ever seen.
Still, to be honest, still, I was leaning towards the Chiefs, and this is why I'm kind of heading back towards the Eagles. Like I said, people don't have an official play yet, but still, from top to bottom, the Eagles are just a better team. Wide receivers, Eagles. Quarterback, give you the Chiefs. Offensive line, Eagles.
Tight end.
Defensive line. I get every given Sunday, the Eagles. Every given Sunday, Dill.
But when the Chiefs want to show up.
I know, but every given Sunday, we already know what we're expecting from the Eagles front line. We don't know what we're expecting from the Chiefs front line. Secondary. Eagles have the best secondary in the league.
Yeah.
Linebacker group. Eagles have a great linebacker crew. Coach. I'm
Andy Reid.
gonna give tight end and coach and quarterback.
That's it. That's all you
That's
can give.
it.
And I think
And
low key,
Chris Jones is better individually than anybody on the defensive front on the Eagles, but the Eagles collectively is better than the whole Chiefs front. So the Eagles are the better team. The better team is gonna win the game. The team has the better defense and who could run the ball and control time of possession and not turn the ball over is gonna win the game. What do we see? Eagles do all season long, Dill. Run the fuck out the ball. What we seen somewhat this season from the Chiefs. Not consistently having the ability to run the ball. And sometimes they do turn the ball over, Dill. We don't see that much from the Eagles. We saw it one time against the Eagles when they lost to Washington. That game to turn the ball over twice and they ended up losing a close one. Every other game, Jalen Hurts wasn't there against the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts wasn't there against the Saints. So I'm sorry, I'm throwing those away. I'm going by what they going on the field with. And that team was 12-1.
the Chiefs did activate Clyde Edward-Helaire, so maybe they get a little help in the running back
Come on,
room.
but we know Isaiah Pacheco and McKinnon catching the ball.
But maybe you need a little help, gas him out a little bit, see Clyde Edward-Helaire. And I want to tell you something that's fucking crazy. So the Chiefs this year, 16-3 overall record.
I've seen that.
You seen that, right?
Yeah.
546 points, 6 All-Pros, including the Kelsey brother, and they got the 1 seed. Eagles, literally the exact same thing. 16-3, 546 points, 6 All-Pros. But Philly also has 2 number 1 draft picks that they got in the last 2 months. Howie just smashed it. Yeah. He's a great GM. So you're right. On paper, Philly is the better team. I said it off the top. I think Philly is the much better team. But it's always coming down to I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes because I've seen him in the Super Bowl. I know what he's gonna give. I trust Andy Reid a little more. And as of right now, I think that defense is gonna make more plays than the Eagles defense. Yes, the Eagles defense is good and they might stop them on 3 and outs, but I don't know if they cause the turnovers like I think the Chiefs can. I think with the pressure that he's gonna bring, I think the Chiefs are gonna. I don't think. And I watched the film back. I also don't think I know I made the comment. I don't think Jalen Hurts is 100% now. Yeah, he went down and he took a nice shoulder hit, and I think that was for his opponents to let people know, hey, I'm all right. Maybe I'm 75 to 100, but I wouldn't say he's 100, and neither is Patrick Mahomes, but I would rather take Patrick Mahomes 0.5% than I would take Jalen Hurts. So
you don't think Jalen Hurts is a little more healthier now with the extra week off? And let's just be real. Did he really play in the fourth quarter against the Giants? Against the 49ers? No. He didn't. So
I think Patrick Mahomes is 75-80.
I'll tell you this. I'll go with I'm more confident in Patty Mahomes' ankle than I am in Jalen Hurts' shoulder. But that's the thing, Dill. You don't need to depend on a lot of Jalen Hurts' shoulder. You're going to have to depend on Patty Mahomes' legs.
And I think that's the problem. Once they get too run-reliant, and then when they load the box up, they're not going to have the chemistry or the flow to hit A.J. Brown, to hit these receivers, as opposed to Patrick Mahomes. That's all they need. They live and die on Patrick Mahomes. So I think, and he knows that. He's going to carry this team. If no one's open, he's going to check it down to Kelsey. They can't guard him. I understand they have the best defense, but they still can't guard Kelsey. So I don't know. Right now, I do lean the Chiefs. I actually did take them plus 2.5, but getting down to the value's all gone plus 1.5. So if I am going to take them again, I'm probably just going to take them straight up. So as for the total 15.5, do you agree with the line move up? Do you like the over?
Yeah, Joe. I do believe it's going to be a high scoring game. I will put in a correct score for the people out there.
Oh.
So I do have it a high scoring game, Dill. We saw Philadelphia all 2 matchups in the playoffs reach the 30-point mark, and we know the Chiefs offense they're walking 30, so it's just, are they going to be able to do it on the Eagles defense? And are the Eagles going to be able to do it against the Chiefs, if the Chiefs defense step up, You
remember Chris Berman on primetime? He would always it's the So he would always whoop. I don't know how to do the whoops good, but they're legendary. What was I gonna say? You made me lose my train of thought. Oh no! So he always for the Super Bowl predicts a crazy score, like on the greatest show on turf. I remember he picked the correct score, 77-76. He didn't know what the over under was. He just thought with that Minnesota led offense, they were just going to score a lot of points. For the Ravens Giants Super Bowl in 2000, he picked 12-11. He picks these crazy scores. So what's your crazy correct score?
It's not too crazy, Dill, but I'm going to say the winner for Friday's show, but I'm going to go 31-27.
I was thinking 27-24. I think we still get over. Yeah, we get over. Barely, but we get over. And Chiefs kick a late.
Well, come Sunday, that might not be the over, though.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're going to see most of the money come in Saturday. Not even Saturday. Probably Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon before game time. Yeah. You're going to really start to see the numbers move.
All the degenerates coming out Sunday morning.
You got to love it.
Because you got to understand, by 2 o'clock, they're drunk.
Oh, yeah.
No, maybe 4. Maybe. Yeah. Depends where you at. Yeah. Depends where you at.
You mentioned some of your props that you gave out over the weekend. Any others that you dived into? Maybe some MVPs or something along those lines?
Still, I saw this game special. So I'm not sure if this is with any book. So I'm going to say this is on FanDuel. Don't want to give
no free sponsors, but
exactly. But I want to give money to the people. This is what it's about, giving away free money. So, Dill, I want to say the L word, but I'm gonna say the L word. I'm gonna say this is a lock for the Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
Travis Kelce, 25 plus receiving yards in each half at -145. It's a little juice. But, Dill, what do you always say?
Sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze.
You're not telling me Travis Kelce not getting 25 a half? Per half?
He might get 20 half in the first quarter.
Come on. He might average 25 a quarter.
That's probably one of my favorite bets. I already put his over reception 6.5. I got his over on his receiving yards. I think he's going to score a touchdown. And I also think if he balls out, he might not necessarily give it to the MVP to Patrick Mahomes. You sitting at Travis Kelce at plus 1,600. Sprinkle a little on it.
I told you my sprinkle on the Super Bowl MVP is Chris Jones at plus 5,000. If the Chiefs win this Super Bowl, Chris Jones will have a lot to say about it.
And if the Eagles win, who do you think gets it?
I'm going to say this. I believe Jalen Hurts will get it, even though he doesn't play. He might throw for 180 yards, 1 touchdown, and get it. One, because I think Patrick Mahomes will win the league MVP.
Yeah,
so they're going to just give him the Super Bowl MVP because of that. But I feel like if, Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, or even A.J. Brown, or, somebody defensively has a huge game, and Jalen Hurts only has, like a stat line we saw in the NFC Championship game, I think you got to sprinkle something on some of these Eagles players, though, because there's a small chance Jalen Hurts doesn't get it at plus 130. Look, think about it. The second highest Eagle is A.J. Brown at plus 1,800. So you go from Jalen Hurts at plus 130 to A.J. Brown at plus 1,800.
Who hasn't been having a good postseason, to be frank.
At all. So he's
a great player, but
if he goes out there,
didn't need him.
Still, if he goes out there and gets 2 touchdowns, $135, he might get some consideration. We've seen Julian Edelman win in recent years, so it wouldn't shock me another one.
Yeah, but I think that was more with the catch. Right?
Yeah, no, it was
that catch is 1 in a million.
No, that's the Atlanta Super Bowl you're talking about, the catch. The one he won the Super Bowl was the Rams, where he was just converting first downs after first downs. It wasn't, crazy huge down the play field, but it was a lot of 8 yards here, 12 yards there. I think he had like 11 catches for like $130.
So you mentioned Chris Jones, and maybe he gets a lot of pressure, gets a sack, maybe a forced fumble, even a recovery, and they happen to win, and that changes the game. They give it to Chris Jones. What about, you could say the same thing on the other side. I guess their best interior lineman, Hassan Reddick. You know, he's a beast, and it's a little cheaper. It's at plus 3,400. So that might actually have a big game.
Yeah, that shows you the odds makers believe that, you know, he might be destructive in the game to have him at the plus 3,400. And you have Chris Jones. We all know Chris Jones is he's the more that could destruct the game a little more. But Hassan Reddick, we see it in these playoff games. You saw what he did to Brock Purdy. Like I said, I think 2-3 episodes ago, I think the man should be thrown in jail. Because what he did to Brock Purdy in the 49ers team was illegal. Let's just be real, Dill. That's a shame.
And now he needs Tommy John.
Yeah, he needs Tommy John, and then he knocks the backup out with a concussion. You should go to jail, mister. No. What jokes?
That might be worse than Myles Garrett assaulting Mitchell Trubisky. Or
no.
Not Mitchell Trubisky.
Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph.
That was assault. That was assault with a deadly weapon. That was assault.
That was legendary, though.
At least Reddick was playing football. I'll agree with the injuries that occurred, but
he was definitely concussed. Mason Rudolph. He ate that.
He was wild. What did he give him? Those salts?
The smelling salts.
He was off a feud.
What else? Are you still leaning heads? Or are you and I having a friendly bet? Because
me and you having a friendly bet, and I'm gonna be honest, I want my money now.
I'm going to continue to bet tails until it hits. That's a promise. 3 years in a row, I'm 0-2. But this year is my year. I feel it, Elvis. It's going to be tails.
Dill.
Okay.
They're talking about they might have Travis Kelce's mom do the coin flip because, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, why not? It's not like
she's a winner.
But she's not. You understand, a lot of people think, it's rigged. Oh, he did it. No. If Travis Kelce's mom does it, she has both her sons playing. She could care.
She's winning regardless.
Exactly. She has no reason to. It doesn't matter to her. Her sons are on the field, and they're both starters. And I'm gonna be honest, frankly, they're both Hall of Famers. So, Mrs. Kelce,
what a job! Kelce family.
What a job!
They're pumping. We could say the real winners are not even the players. It's Kelce's parents and the whole family. They produced specimens that are Hall of Famers.
Future Hall of Famers. Super Bowl champs.
Both already.
Super Bowl champ. Jason Kelce, Super Bowl champ. One of them is going to be
one of them about to get two. and dinner's going to be tense. Whoever wins, you might wear it.
Whoever wins, Thanksgiving dinner. Get the ring. Got shown the ring. Like,
always giving him things. Oh, what's this? Oh no, I just want you to see. This is number 2.
Yeah, it's number 2. Remember when we beat you in the Super Bowl?
Oh my God. Both minus 104 both ways for heads and tails. So we'll have more official plays on our next episode with special guest TT Bets. We're gonna have plays on the side, total, props, specials, you name it. Gatorade colors, national anthem bets. Going all out this one, last one of the year. So be on the lookout for that. Let's go over transition to the NBA. I know you mentioned you had some plays that you that started already. Let's get on over. I know you don't have money on the game, but Brooklyn Nets for our listeners or Clippers laying 8.5 on the road. They don't give you guys a chance. Over under 221. How you playing this one?
Yeah. I'm staying away from it. Our boy Cam Thomas did show out the other day and gave us a 40-point performance to edge up a huge win the other day against the Wizards. So shout out Cam Thomas. Dill, I don't know what to expect from our team today. We kind of got hit left, with the left, saying that, Kyrie Irving gets traded. It is what it is. I don't know what to expect from us tonight, Dill, but let me tell you this. The Clippers ain't nothing to be messed with, so I will say Clippers minus 8.5 just for today. But
yeah, I agree.
If Dinwiddie was in, I guarantee the spread wouldn't be 8.5.
All right, let's go on over to the next game. We have Chicago Bulls laying double digits. Before we get into this, what's good with Lonzo? Is he gonna ever play? There was news that they said it's not getting better.
He finessed the whole NBA. I'll be honest. He finessed. I think he got a 4-year, $40 million deal. He finessed him though. I don't know who did his surgery. Whoever did his surgery cost that man 50 mil.
Because he came on an interview, I think I forgot to mention it to you or bring it up. I wrote it down and I put it in bold for this episode. But my thing is, he says he still feels pain. I've had surgeries in my life. I don't understand that. Did a surgery go wrong that we didn't know about, or?
Dill, I don't know what it is. I quite frank, Dill, I just believe he might be done. It's a small chance he might be done, Dill, because if they didn't redo surgery again, that's a sign saying, dude, they healed it to the best they can. You still feel pain. Your shit done up. So.
And did the Bulls pay him?
Yeah, Bulls will pay him right now.
Chicago got finessed. Thank God LaMelo's better because, man, the Ball family, LeVar, they looking like fools now. Stephen A, they all funny.
Chill.
Did you see what Jay Williams and Stephen A got into it today?
Yo, bro. I thought
No, Jay Williams, he's a little petty though. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been as much of a Duke fan as I am. Never really been a Jay Williams kind of guy.
I always fucked with Jay Williams. I always fucked with Jay Williams because I know if he would have been able to play in the NBA, he would have been a bucket. So that's one reason. And another thing is, still, was he out of line today? Yeah.
I feel both parties, to be honest.
It was a give and take, Stephen A. You do come at Kyrie a little harder than you do other.
But he's not saying anything that's false.
Exactly. And that's another reason why I say it's kind of each side, but is either party wrong? No. But is either party right? No. So.
And I love the most, it went under the radar. The quote, Jay Williams goes, "I'm on your show." Your show. It's Steven. I know it's First Take, but Stephen A. Smith runs First Take.
He's the executive producer. Yeah.
My thing is, you remember Jonathan the Coachman? He was on Raw. He was on WWE. He's doing golf. He's in the sports gambling podcast business now. So he went on First Take too, and I think him and Stephen A. went at it, and he goes, "Oh, I've been down these roads, Jay." He goes, "He wasn't lying. It is his show." No. Goodbye. Like, I don't think we'll ever see Jay Williams on First Take because it kind of, I know it might have not been personal, but they were talking to each other like it was personal.
And you could tell that Stephen A. was upset at him for doing this on live TV.
And why is Jay Williams going so hard for Kyrie?
Because Jay Wills, all right.
That's not even family, bro.
No. Let's be real, Dill. He's been in the NBA, so he understands some of these players are more sensitive than others. So he's more of a, he's a player, so he's going to defend the players. Let's just say that. He's always going to give the players the benefit of the doubt because he was a player. He knows they're never given the benefit of the doubt. They're always held to this standard. And him being a former player, he knows that, hey, I'm going to cut him some slack because nobody ever cut me some slack. He knows out of 9, 10 journalists, reporters, or people like us, we're going to rip him for it.
Well, so there was a guy like Tim Legger. He was also an NBA player. He was on the panel with them, and he was like, he wasn't saying anything, and I felt like he had, every time Stephen A. said something, he kind of like always kind of like agreed with him, and I don't know. I thought it was both. I thought it was petty. I thought it was funny. I thought Stephen A. roasted him, to be honest. I thought it was a 10-7 round. I thought he just bodied Jay Williams, to be honest. But I just thought that whole ordeal was funny. We got way off topic. We went from Lonzo being a bust to Jay Williams. But let's get this show on the road. We mentioned you are teasing the Kings down. You're also teasing the Jazz down as well. Any interest in this Portland home? They're home hosting the Bucks. Bucks 4.5-point favor on the road. Over under 241 high total.
Yeah, I'll lean the Bucks minus 4.5. Still, if anything, if you're feeling ballsy, throw it on a crazy parlay to win it all. But I'll lean the Bucks minus 4.5. Still, and my last official play for the night, because I know you're about to ask, is give me OKC +4. On the road in Golden State. No, Steph Curry, Dill.
Yeah.
Can Jordan Poole step up and be that guy, give you 25, 30 points a night with the assists and the good defense. So I would like to see it. I think it's a tough task. OKC been playing pretty good basketball, Dill. Like you said, Shy might be able to get to that starting role now because Steph is out. We'll see about that in All-Star game, but
He should have got in regardless. Let's be frank.
let's just be real. I agree with you 100%, Dill. So I think OKC. I like them +4, and I'm be honest, I think you have to even speak with something on the money line, just because you don't know what to expect from these Golden State Warriors without Steph Curry.
Yeah, and OKC, they're right in the thick of things fighting for a playoff spot as well. So they're not going to just roll over. Money is coming in. So the line has moved in your favorites now down to +3.5. I see even +3 somewhere. So you got the better number there.
And this game is huge for them as well, Dill, because think
Yeah.
about it. In the West right now, you win a game at 2, you jump 2 to 5 seeds.
Yeah.
If you're the 9th seed, you win 2 games straight. You might be the 6th seed come Monday. I mean, come Friday night. So all these games are huge, especially with the Thunder. If you have a chance to make the playoffs, you can string some games together. There's only 27, 28 games left. If you can win, 15 out of 28, hey, you might be in the playoffs.
Big game. I think this is a big game as well. Yeah. So we'll see. I do like the OKC side. I wish I saw it at 4.5. As for tomorrow, you got a few games on tomorrow's slate. Knicks down in Orlando. We're laying 1.5 -122 on the money line. No total out right now, at least from the book that I'm seeing. But leaning any which way early.
Yeah, leaning. Give me the Knicks money line.
Let's go.
I called it at -130, dropped to -122, and the over/under for the game is at 228 right now. Little rich, but hey, it's supposed to be a high-scoring game. You got Knicks and Orlando, so
let's go. I like that one as well. New Orleans Pelicans -1.5 at home against the Hawks. What do you like there?
Still 1.5. Give me the Hawks. And kind of speak with something on the money line, Dill. We saw this Pelicans team lose 10 straight, then just beat the Lakers the other night. Dill. I think they'll go back on a little losing streak. Even though Brandon Ingram had a huge game, looking like the OBI, having 35 points, I still think this Pelicans team's not just quite there yet. So I like Atlanta. Give me Atlanta on the money line at plus money.
Yeah, now back Chicago on a back-to-back. They will be on the road taking on Memphis. Memphis laying 6.5. Who do you like in that one?
With the back-to-back, you got to consider at that. So I got to lean Memphis -6.5 just because Chicago coming off a back-to-back.
Yep. Denver, Joker at home. Probably going to sprinkle a little on the Joker for triple-double. They're hosting the Timberwolves, laying 8 over/under. I see this one, 235.5. You just going to continue to back the Nuggets?
I like the Nuggets in this one, Dill, but I don't know if I'm going to lay the points with it. I got to see come tomorrow, but right now I'm not official play yet.
All right, and then the last one, Lakers hosting the OKC Thunder. Now, if OKC wins tonight, I love the Lakers tomorrow.
I already took OKC plus 7.5. They got the young legs. They got the Lakers. I do believe they will win the game, Dill, but the Lakers haven't blown anybody out all season. They're always in a nip and tuck game. We saw in these recent games in this whole week. Nets, Knicks, Pelicans. Dill, I think Lakers either lose or win a close one. Give me OKC plus 7.5.
All right, I love it. So yeah, that's it. I gave my play out. Like I said, Kansas laying 3.5. It's at 4.5 right now. I like that still. Don't like it at 5. Then I would buy back or hedge on Texas. But yeah, only 14 games. Didn't want to force anything. Last night went 2-0. So we're trying to slowly get back on track. Overall, did you have a good weekend betting wise?
Yeah, actually, last episode I went 6-2, had a huge day, but then I fell back into the bullshit. Yesterday, I took Memphis money line. They lost a close one in Toronto, and I took Philly -4. The Knicks fucked me, so I went 0-2 yesterday, but before that I went 6-2. So 6-4 last 7.
Okay, attaboy. Oh, you're in the green. That's what we like to see. Yeah, Saturday, rough day in basketball, but had a good day in the UFC. And then, like I said, just 2 plays yesterday and went 2-0. So only 1 game on for me tonight. And I probably won't bet anything else. Going to be a slow night for me. But Elvis, any last words before we get out of here? Big episode next week at the end of the week.
I can't wait for the episode with CT, man. Have our Super Bowl picks. No official play for me yet, still, but I think you kind of see where I'm leaning.
Yeah, me too. I think it's written in the stars for both of us, Elvis. But thank you so much. That's gonna do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila and Prize Picks, Elvis, myself, will see you guys in a few days and break down Super Bowl 57 with special guest CT Bets. We'll be giving you guys our official favorite plays for this weekend, as well as a ton of specials and props. So please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. If you miss an episode, no problem. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, give us a rate, review, subscribe. All that good stuff helps really show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road.